This is one of the most highly Googled topics. What is the ideal weight for a woman? Well, guess what? We're gonna go through that in this video coming up. In this video, I'll talk about the ideal weight for a woman because it's probably not what you think. Then I'll cover how to not determine your ideal weight. Finally, I'll tell you how to get started finding your ideal weight. The worlds of health, fitness, and weight loss are packed with cookie cutter ways to determine your ideal weight. The most well-known is the BMI, or body mass index. BMI uses your height and weight to calculate your ideal weight, but takes nothing else into account. Not your age, not your gender, not your genetics, not how much of your weight is fat versus lean, like muscle, bone, or your organs. It is absolutely insane to use a cookie cutter method like this, yet insurance companies and the medical community, they push it, and so does the military. Take me for an example. I carry a lot of muscle. I'm curvier than most women. In fact, I just had my body fat percentage recently tested and I have 118 pounds of muscle, which puts me in the top 1% of all women in the United States. But the BMI would put me in the overweight category. So do most cookie cutter formulas like Weight Watchers. One of my Code Red team members is the same height as me and her ideal weight is 20 pounds less than me. I could not get to her weight and be healthy even if I could get to it at all. At my ideal weight, she would look overweight. The ideal weight for a woman depends on the woman. Weight Watchers has their own formula and it puts the ideal weight too low, in my opinion. First, they want you to lose 10% of your body weight, which I don't really know why. They call it the initial goal weight. Next, they want you to determine your frame size. So they use 5 for thin, 6 for average, and 7 for large. You take that number of inches tall you are above 5 feet, multiply that by your frame size, so 5'7" would mean you would multiply that by 7, and add 100 to that. So for me, that would make me 142 pounds, which is 13 to 15 pounds lighter than what I am. So what's wrong with that formula? Self-reporting. People don't report themselves accurately. I see this in the custom programs I write for folks all the time. I ask people why they're overweight, and a lot of times they don't know. I have a team member who sees herself as way bigger than what she is, and I have a coach who sees herself as way smaller than what she is. With Weight Watchers, you're lumping 7.5 billion people into 3 categories. With BMI, you're lumping them into just one. Does that sound accurate to you? We are bio-individual. What if you're missing a leg or you have rods in your back because a farming equipment rolled over you? What if, like me, you carry more muscle than the average woman? Plus, a lot of people think that they're carrying more muscle than they actually are, and that's why their weight is climbing up, they think. Before I go to my next point, I want to hear from you, and I want you to comment below and tell me, what do you think your ideal body weight is? Put your height, put your weight, put your age. I would love for you, just put it in the comment box. I'm going to go through and read them, and I'm going to comment back to you, and I would love to hear what you think. On page 129 of my book, The Code Red Revolution, I wrote a whole chapter on how to find your ideal body weight. Something to remember. Most people with a weight problem set their goal weight way too high. They choose a goal weight that seems reasonable rather than one that's actually healthy for them. When you're 300 pounds, a goal weight of 180 sounds doable, but it's probably still way too high for you. When my sister Carrie was 260 pounds, she thought 180 pounds should be her goal weight. Nope. She's built like me and her ideal weight is the same as mine in the 150s. There's nothing reasonable about carrying too much weight for your frame. Your joints wear out faster and hurt more. They're not designed to carry that much extra weight for long periods of time. It's one thing to do a deadlift or a barbell back squat with extra weight for a few times a week. It's another thing to walk around carrying all that weight all day, every day for years. I get that the thought of reaching your ideal body weight might be intimidating, so here's what you do. You set milestones. Get to your goal weight and see how you feel. You might be surprised because for most people, the closer they get to their goal, the less intimidating it seems to go lower. It's really common to reach your goal weight and then think, I am gonna go lower and see how I feel. Don't settle for a weight that just sounds reasonable, but could still be unhealthy for you. The ideal weight for a woman depends on the woman. Beware of the cookie cutter formula like BMI. They don't take anything into account about you beyond your height and weight. For helping to choose your ideal goal weight, get my book, The Code Red Revolution, at coderedrevolution.com. Another thing I absolutely hate, and you guys have all seen it, we've all seen it, the doctor's office charts. The doctor's office charts, every office has got one. They're up on the wall, and it has your age. It's a X and Y axis, right? It's got your age, it's got your height, and you're supposed to find which one and come together, and that's your ideal weight. Well, are you kidding me? That ideal doctor's office chart would make a lot of people be on suicide watch. I mean, that is so ridiculous to pigeonhole all of us into an X and a Y axis. It is ridiculous. And I can understand why people could be so frustrated. They don't know who to believe. They don't know who to trust. I mean, I Googled different charts and different ways to find your ideal weight, and it swings like 20 pounds for people. Who do you believe? Where do you stop your research? What do you do? It's really difficult. Now, I understand that you might be frustrated dieting. You might be thinking like my sister Carrie when you're 260 and just getting down below 200 would be great. That's awesome. I can tell you that's not where you need to stay, but just get down below 200 and then just stop there for a second, take a breath, and then reevaluate. Also, when you're figuring out your ideal body weight, don't forget to get an accurate height. Everybody thinks they're taller than what they are. And did you know we shrink as we age? Yes, we do. I used to be 5'9", and then I'm 5'8", and now guess what? At 45 years old, I'm 5'7" on the nose. You just continue to shrink as you go along. And a lot of you guys had your height checked maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even 2 years ago, and you're like, yeah, it said I was 5'7.5". Well, I can tell you, you ain't now. So get your accurate height. Don't go with what you used to think or what you were back in high school. Make sure the doctor's office measures you or your spouse gets an accurate measurement where you're barefoot and not like my mohawk. You can't measure the top of the mohawk, go all the way to your skull and get an accurate height. That way hey, and I will tell you, by the way, that I'm shrinking and I'm in the process of dropping my goal weight because I can't carry as much weight as I once could when I was 5'8", 5'9". So I'm bringing myself down as well. I'm in the same boat as you. Once you get an accurate height, things can change in your mind. And people are like, I'm 5'5" and my goal weight needs to be 165. No, it does not. No. And you're like, so a lot can change when you get an accurate height, you get your current age, and you read my book, and that's going to help you. But first, go to a time where you felt good about yourself and just get to there. And then we'll go from there. For help choosing your ideal weight, you can get my book, The Code Red Revolution. You can go to coderedrevolution.com and pick that up, and I'll see you on the next video.